Hey, Shalom. Call all Yabashim Yahushua Bashem Makwakadash. Double honor to Apostle Elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to you, Akim, out there pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Okay, real quick, just want to touch on some subjects. I have to acknowledge the Apostle Dahar originally went into Revelations, the 17th chapter. And the breakdown, of course, is still up on YouTube. You can still go through that. So it's no point. That's a classic. It's a classic display of prophecy. When I say classic, but just going into some detail on that, because the current government that's set up, we know is going to be overthrown. We know the Lord is building up the house of Israel, which is basically the new government that's going to govern the earth. And just looking at this wicked government that's over us now, well, just wanted to go into it. Jumping in Revelation 17 and 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Now we know, of course, the beast is talking about basically is NATO, and then you got 10 horns in there, which are the 10 countries in the EEC, which that's the European Economic Union, basically. These have one mind, they shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Yeah, because right now, if you just kind of take your mind out of it, in a way, Europe is its own entity. Europe has everything prominent comes from Europe in this society. Everybody knows that. You got your European style of clothing, European style of this, of cooking, of culture. Everything. When you say European style, you associate that with money and power. Oh, European. That's why all these artists, when they really want to get popping, they really want to get going, they got to go over and tour through Europe. They always, and if you notice, they always tour through Europe first. Or sometimes they'll tour here, but for the most part, they'll tour through Europe first. And you really don't see a whole bunch of what they're doing over there, because really they're over there with them elites doing a whole bunch of wicked ass shit. That's really what they're doing. Then they come over here, like Marvin Gaye, what's his name, Jimi Hendrix. All these people they had to tour in Europe to get popping. When they release the movies, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure everything releases in Europe first before it releases into America. Everything releases in Europe. So basically, I said that to say that Europe is that's the top portion of Esau's government. That's where the elites are at. Europe. They're not in America anymore, because America is about to be destroyed. But anywho, these have one mind, and they should give their power and strength to the beast. That's right. They move as one. They move as a collective. The European Union. These other nations, they can't come in, and they can't. These American, these European nations, they can go around the world and start shit. But if they go into Europe, it's gonna be a problem. If they fuck with the U.S., it's gonna be an issue. Because everybody knows who's in charge. You can pretend to say we're all equal, all one. No, somebody's in charge. Hey, you got millions and billions of dollars of industry and business going on. Somebody has to be in charge to give it order. And we know what? The so-called elites, these different families, these different bloodlines of Esau, they rule the earth. They were given, this is their lot, this is their policy. Revelation 17 and 14, they shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and Kings of kings. and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. That's right. And so we know the Lamb of the Lamb is who? That's Yahweh Shai, the Lord of Lord, King of Kings. And the one they that with him are called. That's his elect. The scriptures say what? Many are called, few are chosen. They are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth, right? Because a lot of times the scriptures refer to many waters is talking about what? Peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Waters of tongues, or the different nations and the peoples of those nations. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Yeah, because America is that whore. America is on top right now. America is running shit. When Donald Trump went over there, and he was talking to those different European leaders, he was punking them pretty much. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Yeah, Trump was over there, and he was probably talking shit behind the scene, like, yeah, y'all better look at that. He's standing in the doorway too. Like, look, you gotta see me. You gotta shake hands with the man's wife and shit. That just shows, but it shows you power though. Power through what's it called? It shows you power through body language. You know, you gotta sit there and shake his wife's hand, make small talk with his wife. But yeah, you're doing a great job. And they got America's flag up.
Thank you very much.
And that's looks like the French flag too. Right there, he had to walk over to Trump. Body language. And then of course we know, these different ties they have on. They represent, whatever they represent. I don't know the full scoop on that, but I know this flag. This is the European. This is the EU flag right here with the 12 stars on it. Now, I one thing you notice too, man. Obama, he never had the same prominence as Donald Trump. Obama never did all this. From what I see, I could, if I'm wrong, please post a video. But Obama, he never did this. He never had this kind of exuberance over these people like that. Because Obama was Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Spotless. Wait. Then here's the money shot, right? Check out the Donald. Get the fuck out the way. That's the money. Yep, that's the money shot. But yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. That just shows you the pride of America. I'm front, son. Damn Edomite. But yeah, anyway, moving on. March 25th of 2017, that was the 60th anniversary of the agreement which gave birth to the European Union. Right, then it's going to go on into some facts about it. Different nations that signed into it. They wanted to lay the foundations of an ever-closing union among the peoples of Europe. But that particular force is what is the driving force behind what runs the world today. That and NATO really is America, because Canada and Mexico, they don't run shit. America is the head. Mexico's not a part of any major unions, because Mexico is full of Issachar. And you notice why you have to ask yourself, why did they have to go to Rome to sign this treaty? Rome is in Italy. Italy, that's Europe, but why did they go to France? Why did they go to Belgium or Spain? No, they went to Rome because this is a spiritual thing. Because this is where all the leaders were gathered before, and they, spiritually, they know that the serpent whose deadly wound was healed. This system. So Winston Churchill, he was the prime minister, spoke on the need to create a European family. So basically, this is the head of this is their government. This is their government, and it was about resources. The European Coal and Steel Community, right? It was born in the Treaty of Paris. These different nations were headed to that, and then that later converted into all of this stuff with the European Union. And then real quick, I just want to go in the flag for that. They chose to make the flag. It's got 12 stars, which I believe those represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Could be. Matter of fact, I retract that statement. I had to double check that one again. But basically, yeah, they're trying to say they're under the protection of Mary. We Catholics will always, when we see the blue color, perceive it as the color of the Queen of Heaven. That's the vibration that they're under. And this is going to go on and talk about some Catholicism and some other stuff, but basically that was the point. That was the point on that. They're using they're bastardizing the scriptures to try to give a reason why they're in power. They're trying to associate, because that's another thing they do too. They'll use the Bible for them and try to make it apply for them, but really, and of course everybody knows it. The Israelites, the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, were the Israelites. And the Holy Scriptures were for us, and Mary was not a white woman. Matter of fact, where is it at? Yeah, we just wanted some more stuff on that. And she's got a crown on her hand. That's that rulership. And you notice whenever you see these different, they like to use, once again, from the scriptures, right? You had the different stones which represent the tribes. I believe, it's hard to tell, but I believe it's 12 stones are here. They like to, once again, they like to steal from us, just like in the movies and all of that. They steal from the Bible. They steal from the scriptures. They take away from our heritage. And computer don't want to work. Excuse me. Okay, back on Shalom. I was saying this is that, once again, this is that part of the image of the beast, that Catholicism, that woman, that Mary worship. But really, and these people, these heads of the government, they all know that. That's why, look, it says Pope Francis told Europe's leaders on Friday the continents face a vacuum of values as they mark the EU's 60th birthday, because they know what it's about. These Edomites are, a lot of these Edomites are Masons or whatever. But they're into the inside information, condemning right. Then it's gonna go into some other stuff. Then it's gonna talk about really what it's really about, the treaty of Rome, receiving a papal blessing on the eve of the anniversary. Yeah. Because the Pope is not and the Pope, he knows who the true children of Israel are. That's why, look, they're praising that dark image of the Lord. That dark image of the Lord once again. Because they know what it is. They know that the Lord was he's a dark-skinned man. And they praise that. They worship that image in secret. But then they'll put out that white Jesus, that white image. And these foolish Edomites, they go along with that. Oh, look, just because you painted a statue, that's another thing too. Just because you paint a statue a certain color, that doesn't mean that's originally what that is, because that stuff can be faked. All of that, what's it called? Carbon dating and shit. That's not an accurate source of information. That information can be faked as well. No, we know through the scriptures, revelations, the Lord was a so-called dark-skinned man, which you would call a black man. Point blank, period. But that's all I wanted to comment on, because right now, in the world, man, you just got all kind of confusion and chaos. You got all kind of destruction, and these people are still giving the same speech, the same old. They might switch it up, or they'll find a new coon who's a little more excited, but they give the same speech, the same spiel. Oh, we're all a nation of freedom and love and all of this garbage. You Google images for America, and it's a clean, crisp, wonderful, loving, it's the states. But then you look at the news, right? This is the great whore. You look at the news, you got all kind of travesty, destruction, confusion, chaos, and gun violence, Syria, right, slavery. So, hey, America is a dirty, nasty country, and the scripture said what? Revelation, the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Yeah, because these other nations, they're gonna shoot missiles and burn and destroy America. Because America, everywhere you go over the world, our influence is that of the wicked, and all of these nations are waking up to it. You just saw Donald Trump, bogarting the different leaders. Complete disrespect. You look at the news sources, right? We're so normalized with violence and destruction and killing and chaos because who's in charge? Who's running the world? The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Scriptures say what? Who is the wicked? Where is he? That's these people. These people run the world. That's why the world is what it is. That's why it's fucked up. But your normal thoughts consist of this chaos, war in this country. You have to have a ceasefire in Syria. You have to have this. You got these people complaining, these people crying out. You got this rumor, this thing's about to pop off. These two countries are getting hot with each other. Complete disorder. Now the chaos is controlled. People, these countries for the most part, they know the line that they can cross and they can cross. It's controlled chaos by the elites. But at the end of the day, it's still chaos. Look at this shit. This is chaos, confusion, madness. And the earth is not at peace. But like the scriptures say, the earth, the earth, I'm paraphrasing, but basically the earth desires to be at peace. The Lord hates a false balance. And the time right now is sped up because Yahweh Shai is seeking to rebalance the earth. And he's going to put his people at the top of it to fulfill his wishes and his orders. Yeah, you go out here, it's all kind of confusion and chaos. Even in your local neighborhood, like I know here in St. Louis, it's just confusing, chaos, death, murder, mayhem. Every day, you hear sirens, police sirens. You know, somebody could be in that truck dying. Excuse me. It doesn't register in your mind. You're just like, that's just the sirens again. That's a fucked up way of being, and it's soon going to change according to the Holy Scriptures. But that's all I had on that. Hey, call Lord Yahbashim Yahushua for putting the Spirit on me. And the water for you, Akim, for listening, and for your comments and for your lessons too, man. The water for you, brothers, for putting the Spirit on me. The water. Call Lord Yahbashim Yahushua. Shalom.